America. The unbeaten Florida State Seminoles and the champions of the Big 8 Conference, the Sooners of Oklahoma. Oklahoma again reigning as conference champion after defeating Nebraska last November. After that game, Coach Barry Switzer talked with the Sooners.
That is the greatest Oklahoma performance that's ever been. And there is the best player in America. We've got someone here from the Big 8 office, Commissioner Chuck Knox. At Riley's house.
It was party time that night for Oklahoma. Maybe it will be tonight for Bobby Bowden. His Florida State Seminoles set to go, and a short time ago he talked with his two quarterbacks in the locker room here at the Orange Bowl.
There's 88, but that's the guy you want to read right there. That means that strong safety's coming. You ever see him? Script right over here. Okay? Now, sometimes the free safety will fire from here. The free safety might try to fire up the middle. And you spot that because he won't move over here. And the strong safety will stay there. Anytime he fires up there, you want to add Sooner. Sooner to your call. That means our backs will stay and pick up the free safety on that blitz and give you time to work on these two guys right here. I think the big thing tonight is getting back deep in your pocket and setting your feet and set and firing the football. That's what you're going to have to do now. They're going to put a good rush on. They can't put it on all night. We're going to work them over.
NBC Sports presents the College Bowl. Football from Miami, Florida. It is Florida State versus Oklahoma in the 1980 Orange Bowl. Brought to you by Pontiac, who offers you even more excitement for 1980. By Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. By Goodyear Tiempo, the all-season radio that eliminates winter tire changeover. And by IBM, Office Products Division. Great night in Miami, Florida, as NBC Sports is proud to present the 1980 Orange Bowl, matching unbeaten Florida State and the Sooners of Oklahoma. Good evening, everyone. I'm Don Crickey, and from everyone at NBC Sports to all of you, a very happy New Year. We've got a great football game for you. Two of the highest scoring teams in America. They do it different ways. Florida State, a Cinderella team, 11-0 on the year. Not that long ago, they were 0-11. But now they're a powerhouse team. They do with the passing game. They can strike from anywhere on the field, take it into the end zone in one play. Oklahoma scores even more points on the average, 37 a game. The Sooners' offense is built around an array of great runners, led by the incomparable Billy Sims, who the pro scouts tell us is the best college player in America at any position. He's got to be pretty good to be as good as Charles White, doesn't he? I'm delighted to be working again with my partner in NBC, John Brody. John, you're looking for a lot of points.
Well, Donnie, I always look for a lot of points, but today I think I have good reason. Remember, Oklahoma's the only team that scored points in every game they played throughout the 70s. Okay, that's a pretty nice stat. But they also have fumbled the ball more than they've punted it. So don't think Barry Switzer's group is a conservative type running attack. They fire it all over the field, but most of them are laterals. On the other side of the coin, Bobby Bowden uses the whole field. I think they'll score a lot of points, and I look for one team to get ahead, get the score back in the hat, and a great night.
Well, you're talking about Oklahoma. You talk about Billy Sims. Touchdown Billy Sims. 22 touchdowns this year. He scored 132 points. We'll watch some of them.
statistics. Another man whose statistics are speaking for themselves, Bobby Bowden. He went from 0-11 to 11-0. The people in Tallahassee think this man is great. We think you'd like to take a look at what they say.
He came from West Virginia to the sunshine of the South. He backs up with the foreman, what he says with his mouth. When he came to Tallahassee, the only good thing was the band. But now them fighting Seminole are the best team in the land. Bobby Bowden, you're the coach for me. Bobby Bowden, please stay in Tallahassee. Them Gator fans used to joke and clown when Florida State would come to town. But they stopped laughing thanks to Bobby B. Jimmy J and Wally love to put it up. They fill the air with footballs. They've really got the touch. Passing is their specialty. All Seminole fans know that when them boys are throwing right, the offense has to go. Bobby Bowden, you're the coach for me. Bobby Bowden, please stay in Tallahassee. Them Gator fans used to joke and clown when Florida State would come to town, but they stopped laughing thanks to Bobby B. Now the defense is the bright spot for FSU this year. With Simmons in the middle, the fans can really cheer. The linebackers and linemen turn quarterbacks to jump, and Butler, Jones, and Irish just help answer prayers with Monk. Bobby Bowden, you're the coach for me. Bobby Bowden, please stay in Tallahassee. Them Gator fans used to joke and clown when Florida State would come to town, but they stopped laughing thanks to Bobby B. Yeah, they stopped laughing thanks to Bobby B.
They love Bobby Bowden down here in Florida, and with good reason. He's going to also be mic'd during the game with a wireless mic. He's agreed to that, so you'll hear him actually sending the plays in from the sideline. And down on the sideline, joining us tonight on our NBC broadcast, a former All-Pro player, one of our fine broadcasters, Bob Trumpy. Bob?
Thank you, Don. Bobby Bowden has pulled out all the stops for this Orange Bowl tonight, enlisting the services of an alumni from Florida State, Mr. Burt Reynolds. I'm sure you're happy about your alma mater being 11-0, Burt.
I'm thrilled about it, Bob, because about 6 years ago they were 0-11. So Bobby's really turned the whole program around. I'm really happy for him and happy for Florida State. And I love Oklahoma, and I love that Sims fella, but damn, I'd like to win this game.
Would you predict a score?
No, sir, I won't.
There you are, Don. Back to you.
All right, we are just about set to go. There is Renegade, the Seminole horse, and Chief Osceola fires down the Warfire. And the Sooner Schooner is out on the field also and set to go as we are ready for the 1980 Orange Bowl game from Miami, Florida. Unbeaten Florida State against the Sooners of Oklahoma.
Some car enthusiasts think of the Mazda RX-7S as an economical sporty import. But according to the fuel economy sticker the government requires on every new car sold in America, this Pontiac Firebird with automatic transmission offers better estimated gas mileage. And according to this sticker, the Pontiac Firebird is priced $1,418 less. Just goes to prove, even car enthusiasts can learn something from Pontiac.
You know, a lot of people ask us how two brothers got in a fight game. It's simple.
We hated each other. We were always fighting.
But we get along fine now. We relax with a light beer from Miller. It has a
5 years and more experience. The Sooners are a great team, tremendous team speed. And Oklahoma, a team that has come from behind 16 times in the last 2 years in the fourth quarter. So if they get behind, that's just like they like it. They like to measure their opponent, and they can rally back and win a football game. They do it time and again. Darrell Ray, an All-American defensive back, is the kickoff man also for the Sooners of Oklahoma. And back deep for the Seminoles of Florida State is Kelly Burney, number 38. He is the deep man. Wind is kicking up here in Miami. Temperature kickoff time around 60 degrees, but there is a gusting wind that could affect the Florida State passing game. We're set to go. The Orange Bowl sold out. They could have sold another 50, 60,000 tickets, but the man's so great for this matchup. Here is Burney, 2 yards deep in the end zone, and he is counseled by an up back game from their 20. Their quarterback, a hard-throwing Jimmy Jordan. Mark Lyles, a big 240-pound senior fullback, is the power back, rush for over 1,000 yards. Michael Whiting can catch the ball or run with it. They mix up the run with the pass, but they like to throw more than anything else. And now they can out 1st and 10 at their 20. Jordan, a senior from Tallahassee, sets his team down. He goes to his fullback, and Lyles hits out across the 20, drives into the Oklahoma defense, and gets the ball close to the 23-yard line. Florida State has some very quick pass catchers on either flank. Artis Johnson is one of them. He is a freshman from Tampa, Florida. And there's the most dangerous deep threat, senior Jackie Flowers, a senior from Jacksonville, Florida. The tight end can also catch the ball, Grady King. It's 2nd down and 6 now for Florida State. First back through is the fullback, and Oklahoma shuts it right down. Lyles, the fullback, flies straight ahead. Richard Turner and Keith Gary knock him down for Oklahoma. Let's go! There's some big pass blockers up front. This might be the best one. Left tackle Ken Lanier for Florida State. Next to him is Mike Good, another good pulling guard who can also pass block. The center is a fine football player, John Madden. They take care of the quarterback. The right guard will be number 70, Greg Futch. The right tackle is Tom Brannon. And now on 3rd down and 6, Jordan takes a look. His first throw, he's going long. And Oklahoma had a play on the football. But Hebert came up and almost had an interception for the Sooners. John?
That, I think, very simply, Jordan went down the field to his wide side, and he will do that as long as they play man-to-man defense. They're in what is called, in the pros they call it a double zone. But actually, they've got 2 people almost playing bump and run on the wide receivers, 2 people playing deep zones outside. They're going to try and get to the men in the deep outside and see if they can't run patterns. That time it was ineffective.
So now Florida State will have to punt the ball. It's downfield. Oklahoma, Basil Banks receives the ball. Here is Banks across the 40. Open field. 1 man has a shot at it. Basil Banks of Oklahoma cuts back inside the 20. The 10. Fumbles the ball into the end zone. Florida State recovered the football. So Oklahoma, which has fumbled in 36 times in the regular season, a spectacular punt return by Basil Banks, but a fumble inside the 5-yard line is recovered for a touchback in the end zone. A 67-yard return.
I just hope that most of the fellas who are on that punting team are not the same guys that are going to play offense in the Seminoles again, because they ran about 140 yards all over the field trying to run down Basil Banks. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they substitute for him, too, because he took a good lick when he got close to the end zone, fumbled the ball, and as fortune would have it, the Seminoles are zip to zip and got their second possession.
Ed Richardson, a senior from Crystal River, Florida, was the man who got the ball in the end zone. Oklahoma with the wishbone offense. We haven't seen it employed yet here tonight. They've not gone from scrimmage, but they did fumble the ball 36 times. It's a high-risk offense, also a high-point offense, 37 a game. But now Florida State starts right back where they were not that long ago. Jordan throws, man is open. The ball is caught on the left flank by Sam Platt, number 29. So the Seminoles, after the big break, come right out of fire and make it a 22-yard gain.
Donnie, it didn't take them long to find out that Oklahoma has been playing with 2 safety men deep instead of an expected 3. If they're going to do that, Bowden mentioned, I'm going to run my tight end or my flanker down the sidelines and make them use all the field. We're going to see if they can cover it. He did so on 1st down, threw the ball perfectly, and they're on the move.
There's Sam Platt, who went up in the air and got the ball. He's the junior from Jacksonville, Florida. They've got the strong arm at quarterback in Jimmy Jordan. He's going to let it rip again. In the flat, he goes to Lyles as fullback. And the Florida State Seminoles have it took him out. They're across midfield and down to the 47-yard line of Oklahoma. An 11-yard game. That will break down the Sooners on defense. Across the front, Barry Bergen, Keith Gary, Richard Turner, John Goodman. He's their best, and Bruce Tate, and a good pass rusher at right end. Great linebacker in George Cumby, a consensus All-American. Barry Dittman's another guy who can cover sideline to sideline. But right now, the Oklahoma Sooners are being tested by the Florida State passing game. Basil Banks and Mike Babb at the corners. Sherwood Taylor is one of the deep backs. Randy Hughes no longer at Oklahoma. And here is the give. They go straight ahead on second and less than a yard. He gets the ball down to the 46-yard line. Richard Turner and John Goodman in the middle of the Oklahoma line made the stop. So John, they get the first down, but Florida State's a club you can't handicap this to a form chart. They'll come out throwing long on first down.
Well, I think the reason they do that, Don, is they wait and see what you do defensively, and they're ready to take advantage of whatever it is. At this time, I think you can expect them to see outside in the flat and outside deep.
No score in the game. Jordan steps in. He throws down the sideline, and he does not hit his man. He goes long. Earlier, you remember that first throw was almost intercepted. This time, he took a look at Hardest Johnson. Bobby Bowden sending plays in quickly. They come in with wide receivers. They'll alternate wide receiver. A spectacular play on the first time Oklahoma got the ball on the punt. Basil Banks takes it back 67 yards, but fumbles inside the 5, and the Seminoles get it back for a touchback.
And it wasn't like the first time he'd run any back. He's the second leading punt returner in the country. So
Jordan throws on second down and 10. His tight end Grady King had the ball, but the Oklahoma 40 could not hold on. And so third down and 10 comes up for the Seminoles.
Mentioned, Don, that when they play the defense they're playing at Oklahoma, and I expect them to stay pretty much in this if they don't get burned too badly. They're playing with both their cornerbacks up pretty tight, playing them to the outside. They're running their tight end where he left. When the cornerbacks are out there, they're trying to stay as close as they can to the wide receivers. It leaves the flat vulnerable, but they haven't been burned badly early.
Jordan during the year hit for 13 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, swings the pass out on third down. Now running ahead with the ball is Michael Whiting, but he's not going to get the first down. On third down and 10, the Sooner defense holds. And so Florida State sends its punter back out, Ron Stark. And he might very well, John, be kicking it far away from Basil Banks as he can.
Wouldn't be a bad idea if I'm sure he was watching. In fact, I thought I saw him in the chase.
Basil Banks is back. He wears number 17. Darrell Ray is back with him as an up back to block. Tuck to him. The ball is high and the rush is coming. The punt by Stark is a high punt downfield. Oklahoma lets it hop down, and it's down inside the 20-yard line. So the Sooners will go on offense for the first time from scrimmage with that powerhouse wishbone offense. And they'll have the ball when we return to the Orange Bowl in Miami after this. At the 1980 Orange Bowl in Miami, the Oklahoma Sooners going on offense first and 10 for the first time. They very nearly were in the end zone on a punt return, but a fumble turned it back over to Florida State. The first back through, running hard. David Overstreet runs the ball and gets it out close to the 20-yard line. J.C. Watt, Julius Caesar Watt's a good thrower, doesn't pitch often as quarterback. The great Billy Sims with some 3,800 career yards rushing, one of the halfbacks. The other is David Overstreet, number 22. He can run with the ball. He also leads the blocking for Sims, and a freshman fullback and a very good one from Carson, California, Stanley Wilson. So the Sooners, after a gain of 2 yards on the first carry by David Overstreet, go right back to the run, and diving over the top is Billy Sims, who averaged during his 4 years playing in Oklahoma 7 yards a run.
And you can see once he gets his shoulders going forward, parallel to the line of scrimmage, the man can go in either direction. All he needs is a little bitty space. He'll find his own hole after that, and he'll create one once he gets by the point of attack. In practice, watching the man, he is such a natural athlete. He's only caught 2 balls, and he's run it for something like 500 and X amount of times in his college career. But don't think the man isn't an all-around athlete. He can also catch the ball. In pros, I'm sure they'll throw it to him a lot that way. Just because you don't catch a lot, he's caught an awful lot of laterals that would have gone for fumbles and made him look pretty good.
They get the ball to him any way they can. A defensive huddle on the Florida State sideline. We have no score here in the Orange Bowl. 10:29 left to play in the first quarter. As the Sooners of Oklahoma break the huddle, third down and less than a foot. Watts, the quarterback, calls his own number, and J.C. Watts plunges ahead behind the good center, Paul Tabor, and his right guard, Don Key, a freshman guard, and Watts has a first down for the Sooners. The pass catchers for Oklahoma, they don't throw the ball a lot, but they've got the people who can get it when they do. Freddie Nixon is the split end. And a very good tight end, the strongest player on the Oklahoma team with good hands, tight end Forrest Valora. No score on the board, Oklahoma in red. Crimson and cream, they call it, in Norman, Oklahoma. First and 10 for the Sooners at their 31. Pitch back goes. Here's Billy Sims looking to go wide. He's hemmed in and knocked down at the 31-yard line. No gain on the play. Monk Coniston, a junior free safety, makes the stop. They've got some humongous people up front for Oklahoma. Louis Aubrey, 270-pounder from New Orleans, is at one tackle. 270-pound Terry Crouch is right next to him at guard. Tabor, the center, comes in at 245, and he can move it out right at that linebacker. Don Key, a 250-pound freshman, is at right guard. And Ed Culver, a sophomore, 255 pounds, is the right tackle. Oklahoma, though, relies primarily on the backs' quickness. They'll go all over the field. Here is Watts throwing. He delivers the ball downfield, and it's broken up. He was throwing the ball to Bobby Grayson, number 12, and the play is broken up by a very quick Florida State secondary.
Don, you know, it's been said that J.C. Watts has a fine arm, may be the best thrower that's played at Oklahoma in the past decade, but when you don't throw very often, it's very difficult to have the timing you need to complete passes against a team that's used to practicing against a team that's throwing it all the time. You can see the play was very well played defensively. The coordination was a little off offensively, and I think you'll see a lot more of that pitching it back and lateraling and let's go game.
Well, in 11 games this year, J.C. Watts only threw the ball 81 times. They go to the run, though. On third down and 10, Billy Sims gets out to the 35-yard line, and everybody gangs up on Billy Sims. Ivory Joe Hunter, number 46, was the first striker.
Don, I think many people expected, because the Seminoles and Florida State is a smaller school, that they would be smaller people. These guys match up pretty well size-wise. Speed-wise is where Oklahoma was expected to have the big edge. And the Seminoles will play from inside to out, trying to use the sideline on Sims, and they were effective in the first series of play.
Now, Keeling is in Oklahoma. Florida State gets a big rush. Keeling, a freshman from Dallas, hits the ball well. Back downfield, returning it now for Florida State is Gary Henry. And so, when we come back to the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida State will have possession of football for a third time. There is no score on the board.
All right, we've got Bobby Bowden Mike for tonight. We're going to try to give you a little insight as to what the plays are. The first thing you'll hear is the call. I'll tell you this after the play.
All right, Michael Whiting's the ball carrier, and he drives it out to the 30-yard line. The first down play, and here's Robert Trumpy.
The first thing you'll hear is the color. That's the formation. Next, a bunch of numbers. That's the play, the way the play is called. He calls pass plays with cars, Cadillac, Chevrolet, Dodge, so on and so forth. Screens are states. Texas is the tailback screen, and anything starting with an F is the fullback screen. So hopefully you can get some insight as to what Florida State is going to call tonight from Bobby Bowden.
Well, it probably took them 3 weeks to get it straight. I'm sure we can handle it in one explanation.
Hey, give me some warning.
All right, here is the handoff straight up the middle, and carrying the ball is Mark Lyles. If they get thrown for a loss, I guess, John, it's an Edsel. It's an Edsel. That's what Bowden was saying. Now they get the ball out. Pick up a few yards on the play, gets it out to about the 33-yard line. Third down coming up for the Florida State Seminoles. They'll have 3rd and 4. Clock is running in the first quarter. 7:30 left to play. Getting a little brisk down here in Miami right now. The wind is blowing up, gusting across the field. Jordan is liable to let it rip at any time, and he'll liable to look to go the distance. A deep drop. He gets time. Steps in. He throws. He's got his man for a first down. Coming down and catching the ball is Artis Johnson. Let's go down and pick up Coach Bowden.
344 X-post. X-post. Okay. R344 X-post.
All right, what the X means is that's the wide receiver on the weak side of the field. 344 means it's a play action pass. It's a first down play so he can fake a running play. He's going to try to get to the wide receiver all the way down the field on a post. It's pretty simple terminology.
You talk with the guy that played quarterback. Here's the long throw by Jordan, and he's going for that wide receiver, and Oklahoma almost picks it off. But Hebert, the free safety, way back, goes for the ball, and Sam Flatley, center receiver. Let's go back down to the field here.
R344, you want a Cadillac or not? R344 X square in.
They're running the pattern to the same receiver. It's the wide side receiver. That's the weak side.
Oh, he stayed way deep.
And they're not going to give it all that fake action, just a little power 44 play. It won't be much of a play number fake, and he'll try to come to the weak side again.
It's 2nd down and 10 for Florida State. There's no score in the game. Jimmy Jordan forced out of the pocket. He's going to run with the ball. Across midfield, he is run down by defensive end Bruce Payton, number 5 for the Sooners. A gain on the play of about 5 yards, and so it's going to be 3rd down coming up for Florida State. John Goodman and Richard Turner forced him out of the pocket with a good rush up the middle. A lot of size in that Oklahoma defensive front.
Jordan actually made a pretty good play out of a well-covered play. They've had the wide receiver to the weak side covered twice pretty well. He had nowhere to go because he only had one receiver the first time, and that time he picked up 4 yards when he had no one else to go to also.
On 3rd down and 6, Jordan with a deep drop. He guns it hard and has his tight end. Brady King, the tight end, catches the ball over the middle down to the 35-yard line. It's a 1st down for Florida State.
Left fullback, statue right.
I think everybody at home knows what a statue is. He goes back as if he's going to throw the ball, and the fullback will take the ball probably to the weak side. That's the play that they call on the sideline, and unless he changes the play at the line of scrimmage, we'll be okay.
The fullback is a big senior from Buffalo, New York, 6'4", 235-pound Mark Lyles. There's the ball going to Lyles, and he heads upfield with a head of steam. He's a truck when he gets it rolling, and Lyles takes it down inside the 30 on a 1st down carry. He's ahead for 8 yards. Knocked down by defensive end Bruce Payton. But Florida State is now starting to challenge.
Well, we mentioned that is what a statue is. Now, they'll run this 2 or 3 times a game whenever they feel that the defensive linebackers are giving way because they think it's a passing situation. They did on that particular occasion. He got good blocks out in front of him to the weak side. They double-teamed over the middle, and he picked up 6-7.
2nd down, a long 2 for Florida State. No score in the 1st quarter. They go to Lyles. He's tough to bring down, and Lyles stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Needed 2 yards.
I think he's got it. I think he was hit behind the line, and I thought he was going to be brought down, but he carried the man for 3 or 4 yards.
The Seminole backers liking all of this, so they have a 1st down now. Lyles has run with the ball 5 times and gained 19 yards. The 1st quarter clock shows 5.5 minutes to play. Florida State on its 3rd possession is driving against Oklahoma. This back running hard is Michael Whiting. Changes gears as he went wide, cuts back, accelerates ahead. He has yardage down close to the Oklahoma 20.
Left 91. Hey, George, have they got the 5 defensive backs there yet? Keep your eye on them. You ought to get ready for Z corner now here now.
I think what you're going to see is a draw. The 90 series is generally a draw. We'll see. You bet he's looking at the secondary reaction right now.
I'm going with you, John. You got it. Mark Lyles on the draw, takes it down to the 16-yard line on a 2nd down and 7 carry. He drives the ball down the deepest penetration of Florida State of Oklahoma territory in this game.
You'll find that most of the running plays for the Seminoles are draws or off screens. They're statue of liberty. They're anything that's run off a passing formation or a drop back by the quarterback. What good's it going to do them to run up to the line of scrimmage when everybody in the house knows they're going to throw it whenever possible? That's the way they structure it, and that's the way they operate.
Florida State with 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 2. They've converted 2 of 4 previous 3rd down. They go to the big back, and he drives it straight at Oklahoma. Down inside the 15-yard line. He had to advance the ball to the 13.
George, how close is it?
He might have it.
Yeah. No, we're going to 88. Hey, Coach, did we make it? Let me know that. That's all I want to know. Now, see how much we need. 2 kites now. See how much. See how much. Down, Coach. Let's push down. All right, George. Get up. I want a left 88. Tell him to look at Z.
All right, a little left 88. He says, look and see. Now, obviously, the receivers are named from weak side to strong side, X, Y, Z. So look to the side that the tight end is sitting, and they look to the wide receiver. If he does what Coach Bowden asked him to do, maybe he'll find him.
All right, first down and 10 for Florida State. Jordan timing pattern, lost it into the end zone, running under the ball, incomplete. But there's a penalty marker down in the end zone. We could have an interference call against Oklahoma.
Don, that's Z, if you want to know. He used the wide side of the field. He gave himself plenty of room to run the pattern, and when he did so,
tell that quarterback to make sure his handoff now, okay?
It enabled the quarterback to put the ball out there.
What?
Jay Jimerson was defending on the play against Sam Platt, a junior wide receiver who went down under the ball. An interference call against Oklahoma. Puts the ball at the 1-yard line of the Sooners, and Florida State now has it point-blank range, first and goal.
In due respect to Jimerson, he was locked out of the play. He made a fine defensive play. He had way too much room to cover. When a quarterback and a receiver have that much time to loft the ball over the top, there's really not much you can do.
Jackie Flowers also running a pattern deep. He's being helped off the field. Now, Florida State. First back through, didn't get there, and another penalty marker flies through. Fullback Mark Lyles tries a straight-ahead dive, but Oklahoma's big defensive linemen submarine the blocking, and the linebackers and shot over the top. George Cumbie, number 28. Another call against the Sooners, and Coach Switzer sees his team with a problem right now.
Well, he's seen a lot of problems in his day, and he handles them pretty well. I'll tell you, when his team is down by 10, down by 14, when they play tough teams, they know they might be. But they've always come back. They play the whole game. And he knows himself that it's kind of hard for Oklahoma to get up against a team, no matter how great a season they've had at 11-0, that wasn't ranked this high before the season started, and that hasn't played in Oklahoma.
First down and goal from a half-yard out. Whiting dives into the end zone, and Florida State is on the board. Michael Whiting, a 200-pound sophomore running back from Largo, Florida, takes it into the end zone for the first score of the game, and Florida State is on the board 6-0 with 3:24 to play in the first quarter.
That was a beautiful drive, and I think the execution was more important than the play selection, and I think Bowden would tell you the same thing. Jimmy Jordan got back there. He waited for his receivers to come open. In the pregame show, we heard Bowden mention to Jordan, hey, hang in there. You're going to get a good pass rush, but hang in there. Don't throw the ball a little too early on 2 occasions. He waited long enough, and as a result, had completion.
The extra point up and good, and so the Florida State Seminoles go 74 yards in 12 plays. Sophomore Michael Whiting on the payoff, and we'll be back in a moment. At the 46th Orange Bowl game, as the underdog Seminoles of Florida State, a Cinderella team, coming in with an 11-0 record, take the lead, driving 74 yards on their third possession. Here is the kickoff downfield. Getting the ball is Darrell Shepard. He takes it across the 15-yard line. Breaks the first wave of pursuit, and Darrell Shepard down across the 20 to the 24. Rick Stockstill is down to make the tackle for the defensive unit of Florida State, Arthur Scott, Scott Warren of the defensive ends, Jeremy Midland, the great Ron Simmons, maybe the best defensive lineman in college football, the nose guard number 50. Mark Hossack is the defensive tackle on the right side. Actually switched the tackle. Midland always plays the strong side. First down and 10, Oklahoma from the wishbone. First back through is the fullback, Stanley Wilson. And Wilson down across the 25-yard line, out close to the 27. Wilson, a 6-foot, 195-pound freshman, the heir apparent to the long line of great backs who come out of Oklahoma. Breaks through it. Joe Washington, and now Billy Sims near the linebackers from Florida State. Two good ones. They lead the team in tackles. Reggie Herring and Paul Porowski. The defensive backs, in the opinion of the Oklahoma coach, is the most impressive part of the defense of this football team, other than Simmons. Butler and Ivory Joe Hunter at the corners. Montesort and Jones are the safeties. Pitch back goes to Billy Sims. And Sims takes a hard shot at the 31. Bobby Butler, who is the fastest player on the Florida State team, came up, beat the pulling guard, and got a clean shot at Sims. John?
He better be, Don, because if he gets in many one-on-one situations with Sims, he's going to be chasing him to the goal line. If Oklahoma gets a situation like that 4 or 5 times in a ball game, he's going to break 2 of them. That's what they try to do. It was a pretty little lateral back. Sims was able to get past the line of scrimmage, get his shoulders turned up. Had it not been for Butler, that baby's been long gone. It was a great defensive play, but he doesn't want to get in that position often.
Oklahoma feels it has to establish its fullback. Wilson up the middle to get the running game going wide. Second back through, diving with the ball is Billy Sims, and he hits it out across the 30, out close to the 34-yard line, and a 3rd down and 2 carry. Billy Sims is close to the 1st down. Mark Masik was on the stop for Florida State. Looks like it's going to be close enough to bring out the change here. With 1:44 left to play in the 1st quarter, and Florida State on an impressive diverse drive in the lead, going 74 yards for the touchdown, a half-yard out. Michael Whiting, a sophomore, took it in at 7-0 Seminoles. Oklahoma's been to the Orange Bowl 4 of the past 5 years.
Best thing going for him right now. He better keep going.
Now ready to punt the ball for Oklahoma. Michael Keeling, a freshman. He does all the kicking. Gary Henry is back for Florida State. Florida State blocks the punt. Bobby Butler blocked it. And the Seminoles have the ball, and they have it inside the 20-yard line of Oklahoma. Number 28.
Well, so I'll tell you, those guys are playing pretty good combination defense when you go in and block the punt. You can almost get the feeling, hey, if we hold them in a short yardage situation, send as many people as we can. If we get a 7-point lead, we better make it 14. We better play for 60 minutes. We've got to take all the chances we can and hope something good happens. Not very often do you see teams come and try to block punts when they've got a 7-0 lead unless they think they can win.
Bobby Butler delivers a big play on defense for Florida State. A junior from Delray Beach, Florida. Now on 1st down, they go to the run. Here's the fullback, Mark Wiles, turning upfield. And George Cumby, an All-American striker and linebacker, makes the hit.
344 Z corner?
Right.
Right. 344 X corner. 344 X corner.
Okay, we got the X corner. That's the wide receiver to the weak side again. Off a play-action pass. You see two backs come out of the backfield, try to make it look like a play action. I don't think it'll fool too many people right now because 2nd and 10 is an obvious passing down, particularly for these guys.
2nd down and 11 for Florida State. Jordan looking into the end zone. And he throws the ball away with good reason. As the Sooners had double coverage, Mike Babb, the right cornerback, was right there.
All right, let's get us a left. Hold it. This will be a left 68 wide out. Left 68 wide out.
Okay, now we're looking for the tight end, folks. An out pattern is pretty self-descriptive. Whatever side he lines up on, he'll probably line up on the weak side of the field. They're trying to go against the grain.
Jordan throws. The strike is made to the tight end, Grady King. And again, Florida State is challenging inside the 10-yard line. That was a 3rd and 11 play. It's short of a 1st down. Or is it? No,
I don't think it's short, Donnie.
They got it. They spot the ball down just enough for the 1st down. Now it'll be 1st and goal from 6 yards away.
You can see it fooled nobody everybody in the house, Don, but the important thing is not fooling them. It's executing when they do know what you're going to do. And he put that ball right in between two defenders just as well as it can be thrown.
You don't see any TVs over in Oklahoma sideline.
No, they'd blow you out while you were watching.
Lyles carries the ball on 1st and goal from the 6-yard line, drives it down close to the 5.
Or 95, huh?
I'm
no,
just
George,
ran
go
out.
deeper. Right 95. Yeah. See, I'm afraid they get penetration inside. I don't need to be down there. I don't like it down there. I can't see, Nick. Sorry.
How about trails?
That is the end of the first quarter with the Florida State Seminoles in the lead 7-0. We'll return to tonight's action after these messages from your local station. Back at the Orange Bowl in Miami, Don Criqui with John Brody and Bob Trumpy, and now Florida State's looking for the end zone, and they're down close to it, but not in. On a 2nd and goal carry from the 5-yard line, Florida State's fullback Mark Lyles takes it down close to the Sooner 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from there. We open the second quarter with temperatures about 60 degrees, 62 degrees. Wind is gusting. Cool night. Right now, the favorite Oklahoma Sooners are down 7-0, and Florida State's close to taking it in again.
And I'll tell you, they're close to taking it in because when they get in running situations, they're running the ball very well. Brandon Fudge, Madden, Good, Lanier, all 5 down linemen are getting good penetration.
Jackie Flowers is the wide out to the left side. Flanker out there. Here's a penalty marker down to lay a game call against the Seminole. That'll hurt.
Oh, man, you can't have that when you're 3rd down and 2.
George, I think the corner's staying outside where he can get it. All right, hold it. No.
Don, this is the first penalty.
I want a left 82 and tell him I said stick it in there. Left 82. I'm going to the 82.
He said
what
stick
down
it
is
in
it?
there.
You can see Florida State has dominated time of possession in the first quarter. 10 minutes of possession, 1 touchdown up. Big play here, 3rd down and goal from the Oklahoma 7-yard line. He's going to drill it. There's the fire, the strike, down close to the goal line, fumbled football.
It looked to me, Donnie, as if the whistle, I thought I heard the whistle blow before the fumble, and I think they ruled it short of the goal line by about a foot.
You're right. They want to take it in. The players do. We'll see what Coach Bowden wants to do.
They're extremely close, Don. I don't know if Coach Bowden knows how close they are. You can see where his forward motion was stopped. He made a lunge to try and get it over the goal line, but the whistle had already been blown.
What did he call that?
All of us quarterbacks do frustrate our coaches on occasion.
Now it brings up 4th down. It is ruled an incomplete pass. The ball goes back to what was the line of scrimmage, the 7-yard line, and 4th down comes up.
Back it up. Take too much. I want you to take too much time and back it up 5 yards. If a delay of game. Tell that center not to snap the ball. That's ridiculous. Hey, Coach.
So what he's trying to do here, he's hoping to get the 5-yard back on it. Oklahoma jumping outside. Told the center not to snap it. Incomplete pass, so 4th down comes up, and it appeared that Bowden instructed and going in with the play to tell the center not to snap the ball. They want to see if they can't draw Oklahoma offside, anticipating get the 5 yards back.
I'll tell you, Oklahoma got a good break when they called that ball incomplete.
No snap will be coming. Oklahoma disciplined on defense, staying down in the 3-point and waiting for the time to run out. And so the assessment will come against Florida State. Didn't work.
Well, I really think he just wants a little better angle. I don't think he's trying to pull anybody off sides. When you're lined up to kick a field goal, you're not too many people are going to jump the gun, and it does improve his angle just enough, maybe a foot or 2, maybe 3 feet. And kickers are funny. Some of them like to be a little farther back, and whatever he likes, please him. You know, just get me the 3 points.
He's got to hook it in now at the right leg. Davey Capellan, bad step. And Oklahoma answers the challenge and stops Florida State. So the Sooner defense
any sort of a fake. You can see the holder just had a little problem. He couldn't come down with it cleanly. As a result, it was a wild scramble. 7-0 lead. They're going to need more if they're going to stay ahead of a great Sooner team.
When we come back, the Sooners will have the ball first and 10. College basketball coming up Saturday on NBC, and right now it's back to live action at the 46th Orange Bowl. 13:31 to play first half. Oklahoma with the ball, trailing Florida State 7-0. J.C. Watson, quarterback. He pitches back, and here goes Sims, and look out. Billy Sims is across the 30. And Billy Sims can take it the full grip anytime he gets the ball. Big hit put on, and the ball was made to the fullback, Wilson. And Sims breaks it for 25 yards before Monk Montesor knocked him down.
Well, it's such a tough assignment for a defensive corner when you've got to watch the wide receiver, and you've got everybody pursuing from inside to out, and you've got a guy like Sims to contain. He can't come up because if he misses, he's had it. And they're going to, when they've gotten outside, they've been effective, and it'll be very tough to stop.
That's the freshman Wilson in the 4-point. They go to David Overstreet. There's a lot of Seminoles there to hit him, led by number 39 linebacker Reggie Herring, who led the Seminoles in tackles this year. A junior linebacker from Titusville, Florida. The bowl game scores are all in except for the Orange Bowl. Alabama, ranked number 1 in one poll, a decided victor over Arkansas, 24-9. Houston coming from behind in the closing seconds to upset Nebraska, 17-14. Southern California coming from behind today to beat Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Here's Watts, 2nd and 9. He's quick, but not that quick. And the Florida State Seminoles are going to knock him down back inside the 40. A loss of 5 yards on the play, 6-yard loss. James Gilbert, number 52, is in rushing, and Charles White sets a new Rose Bowl rushing record, 246 yards. And SC comes from behind to beat Ohio State 17-16. So the ball is now at the 39-yard line of Oklahoma. 3rd down will be coming up, and 15 yards to go for the first down. The Sooners don't like to pass much, but you were pointing out earlier, John, Watts has a great arm. They rate him the best passer they've had there in 10 years. He runs it himself, and Watts is an open field. J.C. Watts takes it down inside the 30, not done yet. He's going to take it into the end zone, and Oklahoma is on the board. 61 yards. Julius Caesar Watts takes it the distance. Well, we've seen some big plays.
Well, I mean, that's what you need in a quarterback. A fellow that can throw the ball a bit, make it well, but find a hole and has great speed once he finds a hole to do something about it. He sets up his block very well. He's got 2 offside linemen, Oubre and Don Key on that occasion, that were both downfield helping him out 30 yards past the line of scrimmage.
He's a very engaging young man, a very bright young man, J.C. Watts. Comes from the same hometown as the Selman brothers. He said, "You knew I was going to Oklahoma." And J.C. Watts now with the extra point up and good, and the Oklahoma Sooners have tied the game at 7. 11:35 to play in the first half, and we'll be back at the 9th.
Finally on the scoreboard with J.C. Watts in that long run. Julius Caesar Watts, that is. And after football, maybe he'll go into show business. Like, watch out, Johnny Carson. Here's a sample.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Thank you so very much, J.C. Watts. I think they'll keep him at quarterback.
They've never had a quarterback that wasn't a ham.
Dennis Houston can play football, though. He just put the game into a knot at 7 after the extra point. Here's the kickoff downfield. Kelly Burney sees it scoot on through the end zone, and so it comes out 1st and 10 at the 20 for Florida State. 11:35 to play in the first half. Now let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is 23, KNDO Yakima.
We're at the 1980 Orange Bowl in Miami. It is sold out. Some 77,000 are here. There would have been 50,000 more if the ball yard was big enough. Coach Barry Switzer and his Oklahoma Sooners right now in a tie. 7-7. Florida State with the ball. Here is Jordan. Good play fake. Goes in the flat. It's going to be picked off by Oklahoma. Bud Hebert picks the ball off for the Sooners, and all of a sudden this football game is turned around as Oklahoma has it back inside the Florida State 10-yard line.
Excellent play by the secondary for Oklahoma that time. They allowed their free safety to play the ball all the way. They got man-to-man on the wide receivers. And when they did so, he never could break clear. There was nobody to get in his way, nobody to break up the interception.
Bud Hebert, a senior free safety from Beaumont, Texas. And that's where Barry Switzer thinks the football players are. He has 40 in his program for the state of Texas at Oklahoma. He goes across the border.
They've got a lot in Oklahoma, California.
Up the middle they go. David Overstreet takes the ball on a 1st and 10 carry from the 10-yard line. Actually be 1st and goal.
A couple more coming.
At the 10, the ball's advanced down to the 7. Borowski, 53, and Herring turned on the 2 linebackers for on the stop. Bud Hebert played a lot of football this year for Oklahoma. He played defensive back at times, starting tonight at free safety. He also played wide receiver at times. First two-way players from 68. Apparently, John, we had an offside against Florida State because the ball is advanced to the 5-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal from there. 1st and goal for Oklahoma. David Overstreet has the ball. This is Stanley Wilson. He runs away from trouble. He turns inside the 5 and he dives into the end zone. And Oklahoma is on the board and takes the lead.
I'll tell you, Don, that is just about as impressive a run as you're going to see. He had nowhere to go. The Seminoles have been trying to force from the inside out. They got a good piece of Wilson. On two different occasions. He's plugged up at the point of attack. Now he's got, that looked like Simmons to me that had a pretty good hold of him. He got rid of him and beat all the pursuit into the end zone. Stanley Wilson, the freshman from California. That's a beautiful run.
Boy, it was. Tell you what, this football game will keep your interest. Extra point is up. Let's see. It's good. Sidewinder is struck up and through by Keeling, and so Oklahoma, after trailing 7-0, the favorite Sooners rally back with consecutive touchdowns, and they take the lead 14-7. Orange Bowl. Sooner fans have something to cheer about now as Stanley Wilson, a freshman fullback, runs it in from 5 yards out for a touchdown, and Oklahoma takes the lead for the first time in the game, 14-7. After the interception by Bud Hebert set it all up. Now the kickoff. Spinning downfield. It is going to be taken by Kelly Burney. He breaks the first wave, and Kelly Burney's across the 30-yard line out to the 35. A couple of guys keep it going after the play. A 21-yard return, and Florida State, trailing by 7, sends the offense out 1st and 10. We pointed out earlier, Florida State is a come-from-behind football team. They've come from behind in the 4th quarter 16 times in the last 2 seasons. Bowden says we don't feel right if we're ahead going into the 4th quarter. Something's not right. At first down, the pitch back goes to Whiting, and Oklahoma is there to knock him down for little or no gain. Johnny Goodman on the tackle.
Right now, you know, R44. R44.
Sounds to me like that's a little running play, Don. Look at those two.
Bobby, a gain of only a half yard, make a 2nd down and a long 9 now for Florida State. They do indeed go to the run, and carrying the ball is Michael Whiting. And Oklahoma's middle guard, Richard Turner, a 245-pound junior.
White, 68, X-drag.
Right in.
How much we need?
They're down and 6 yards to go for the first down now for Florida State. Ball at the Seminoles' 39-yard line. Clock running, 9:50 to play in the first half. Oklahoma's in the lead, 14-7. The big rush. And Jimmy Jordan never had a second look. As rushing on through is the middle guard, Richard Turner from Edmond, Oklahoma.
Did he get any help?
Don, Richard Turner's been a big playmaker for them throughout the past couple of years. And you had heard Bobby Bowden say that'll be a little drag pattern. X-drag, that was a weak side receiver running into the middle. He was open. Jordan had Turner sitting right in his face and had no chance to go.
Let's see what can happen. Get yourself loose.
He just told his other quarterback, Wally Woodham, to loosen up. He'll change pitchers in a hurry, and he might go back to the original starter. This one's almost blocked. It gets off, but it's an errant punt. It hops out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. So Oklahoma sends out the offense with good position as Florida State's Ron Stark just gets it away against a big run. Right now there is a break in the action at the 1980 Orange Bowl game with the score Oklahoma 14 and Florida State 7. We'll return in a moment.
NBC.
Sold out Orange Bowl. As we go back to the live action, and Florida State has a backup quarterback. He's more of a, they call him the doctor, Wally Woodham. He picks the defensive arm. They call the other kid, Jimmy Jordan, a Winchester. He's got the rifle arm.
We'll get back to it when they have the ball.
Here's J.C. Watts. He wants to do it all over again. He went 61 yards on his last carry into the end zone. Paul Porowski knocks him down, but Watts has the ball inside the 35-yard line of Florida State. See where they spot it down.
He looks explosive, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. They have speed. Gain of 6 on the play. It'll be second down and 4. 8 times this year, Oklahoma put up 3 or more touchdowns in a single quarter. They explode. They detonate on offense. Handoff goes to the great one, Billy Sims, on a 2nd and 4 carry. Sims is down close to the Florida State 32-yard line. Middle guard Ron Simmons, number 50, knocked him down.
Don, you'll notice that throughout the evening, Oklahoma's had very little success running up the middle. Primarily, it's because of Simmons and the style of play that they employ. They're going from the inside out, trying to use the sideline, force those backs for Oklahoma to run wide, and they feel their pursuit can catch up. Now, Simmons is so great as a down lineman that they don't want to nullify him with one fine center like Tabor, so they're moving him around on the line, trying to employ him in different spots. He hasn't made many tackles, but they'll find a place for him.
On 3rd down and 2, David Overstreet carries the ball for the Sooners, gets it down inside the 30-yard line, and he has a first down for Oklahoma. Mark Mossick knocked him down for Florida State, number 67. But the Sooners drive on. After falling behind 7-0 early in this game, they got their stuff together right now.
Let's go, babe. Paul, just go here. You got to pull back a little bit.
First down and 10 for Oklahoma. 30-yard line of Florida State, just inside the 30. J.C. Watson, quarterback. Takes to the fullback, pitches back, and here comes David Overstreet inside the 30, inside the 25, and down to the 21-yard line. Mark Montesor, free safety, knocked him down. But Oklahoma drives on with 7:08 left to play in the first half.
Here we go. Ron Simmons, number 9 in the Heisman Trophy voting. When that happens to a defensive lineman, you know he's a fine player. They're trying to let their defensive halfbacks come up and make the plays. Now, when you're talking about Bonasort's been a fine tackler, but they're going to get their fill if they don't start getting to those backs a little quicker.
On 2nd and 2, J.C. Watts is hit, knocked down. He won't get the first down. Bonassort again makes the play. He's a junior from Pittsburgh, a walk-on, didn't have a scholarship. As Coach Bobby Bowden says, some people call him lucky. We call it instinct. He's always around the football. Not very fast, but he's made so many plays. He led the team in interceptions this year with 8. Monk Bonassort. So now 3rd down comes up. There was a loss of over a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd down along 3.
And you'll notice they were in a defense that allowed him to get to the line of scrimmage a little more quickly.
Florida State puts 5 people in down stances. The quarterback Watts rolls and twists and moves inside the 20. He had to get close to the 19-yard line. Bobby Butler, the left corner, made the hit. Very close to a first down. He got it by the nose of the football.
That's just exactly what he did get it by. There have been 3 or 4 calls for first downs and decided by about 3 inches, and I think this is one of them.
6 minutes to play in the first half. 14-7 Oklahoma. Seminoles on their third possession drove 74 yards with Michael Whiting taking it in from a half-yard out. Then Florida State saw quarterback J.C. Watts of Oklahoma on a keeper play go 61 yards for a touchdown to tie the game. On the next possession of the Seminoles, Bud Hebert intercepted, took it back to the 10. And a couple of plays later, freshman Stanley Wilson ran it in from 5 yards out. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage, then cut wide and outran the Florida State defense, and Oklahoma's in the lead by 7. First down and 10 for the Sooners. Watts carries again, and he's not done yet. J.C. Watts is inside the 5-yard line. Extraordinary agility. Spins, and finally he's run down by the middle guard, Ron Simmons, but J.C. Watts has the ball all the way down to the 4-yard line of Florida State.
It's a very tough offense for a team like Florida State to defense. When you've got your best player that can be nullified by the wishbone, you're in trouble. Now you see when he makes tackles, he's down the field 7 or 8 yards, and his great pursuit and athletic ability allows him to make the tackle. But they are nullifying it by sending that fullback right up the middle. It's fun for Oklahoma.
Hits back. Billy Sims lost the ball, but he got it on the 1 hop. Oklahoma, as their coaches call it, we have a high-risk, high-score offense. They fumbled it away 36 times in the regular season. They've had 2 fumbles tonight. I guess you could call that one. The ball was free, but it hopped right back, and Sims got it.
Third down. Second down. Which return we want? Left return, Nick. Is that a middle or left?
He's talking about a kickoff return. But Oklahoma's not in yet. On second down, David Overstreet runs ahead and knocked down by Porowski.
You know, Don, it might be said on his behalf that he's not planning on his kickoff return because he thinks they're going to score, but a head coach's job is he is responsible to prepare for what might happen in the future, and that's just good preparation. I don't think his players think anybody's given up, and
oh no,
the yardage is pretty tough down there.
David Overstreet got a little nervous down there. He got the ball down to the 3-yard line. It's third down and goal there for Oklahoma. The Sooners come at you with so many options. They like a fighter with combinations. Watts rolls out. Coming on through to make the big play was Mark Mossick.
It's been said all year, Don, that, you know, the big man is Ron Simmons. He's a great player, but they have a couple of big play men.
Walter Carter.
This one is Walter Carter. You know, you kind of expected it, though, to be Mossick because he's made so many big plays for him throughout the year. Now, a guy like Simmons creates the situation, but these 2 big down tackles follow through.
Now a field goal attempt is kicked up by Keeling, and he's got it. And so the Sooners do not get into the end zone for a third time, but they do get points on the drive with 3:08 left to play in the first half. Oklahoma extends its lead to 17-7. NBC and the United States Olympic Committee would like to remind you that the Boy Scouts of America are proud of the U.S. Olympic team. You can help support their new Olympic team Good Turn program during the new year. Watch for it. With John Brody and Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui back at the 1980 Orange Bowl in Miami. Oklahoma just hit on a field goal by Keeling. It is 17-7 Sooners. And Bernie brings back the kickoff for Florida State. Turns the corner, has a lane, and gets it out across the 25 and out to the 30-yard line. And now they change quarterbacks to the Seminoles.
Well, I don't think that defensive stand can be too highly emphasized because there's a big difference between 14 and 10. Also, the fact their defense knows they can stop Oklahoma when they get down inside the 15-yard line. They've been behind 7 or 10 points several times before, but keeping them within 14 is a very big point from Bowden's viewpoint and mine.
While Jimmy Jordan was a quarterback tonight, he was 6 of 13 completions, 75 yards to 1 interception. That subsequently led to the go-ahead touchdown. Florida State tries to run, doesn't get there. Mark Lyles carry.
Now put him in the short side. Put him in the short side. L44, Z reverse. Yeah, you go at Z.
Okay, this is a wide receiver reverse this time. They're faking. If they make the wide receiver to the strong side in, you see him start running around back there with the running backs, you'll know he's going to get the ball on a reverse.
That was Sam Platt, who just came in the game, number 29. Second down and 9 for Florida State. But it is. Sam Platt is on the run. He turns upfield. Sam Platt is out to the 35-yard line. Got ahead for about 6. Oklahoma shot some people through the gap. Looked like they were going to get him. George Cumbie finally knocked him down.
It was a pretty good play. It actually looked like it might be just a little bit better. When Platt got the ball, he had 2 blockers out in front of him. It looked as if he could turn it up. Got caught up with his tackle, and as a result only picked up 6. But I think in discussing Woodham, which we might do right now, you'll notice that he only had 3 or 4 interceptions all year long, threw over 150 passes, and he's the sort of guy that they get their drives going inside. He'll nickel and dime you. Right there.
Throws a strike, but the ball is lost. Ardis Johnson, the freshman wide receiver, had it and lost it. Would have been a first down. That'll bring up 4th down, and Florida State will have to punt. With just 1:33 left to play in the first half. And as always, the Orange Bowl has the most spectacular halftime show you've ever seen. You'll see both fans, Oklahoma and Florida State, and you'll see a laser light show. Ron Stark into punt, had that 13-yarder a while ago, brought his average down when it was almost blocked. He did well to get it away. Back deep now for Oklahoma is Darrell Shepard, number 8. This time the Sooners set up the return. Stark hits it very high. Shepard signals for the fair catch. It takes a hop downfield. And it'll be down inside the 10-yard line. And very fortunately for the Sooners, it didn't touch Darrell Ray. It very nearly did. That was a 59-yard punt by Ron Stark of Florida State. So now Barry Switzer and his Sooners, who, as you see, have been to the Orange Bowl more than any other team, are set to go on offense from a hole. They're down inside their 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 there with 1:21 to play in the first half. Last year, Oklahoma beat Nebraska 31-24.
Let's recall also that the Seminoles have a few timeouts left. If they stop Oklahoma cold on first down, you can figure them to use one of them, try to get themselves a good field position, get some points.
Oh, yeah, football didn't come free. That was a helmet, a concussion of that hard hit by Ivory Joe Hunter and Mark Fountasort on David Overstreet. David lost his hat. Bowden now looking out at his defense. They try to get the ball back, clock running. This
burns me up. It really burns me up. We let the momentum get away from us. Yes, we can. We can win this ball game. Yeah.
It is 2nd down and 6 now. Coming up for the Sooners as time winds out in the first half. They go straight ahead to the run. With a 17-7 lead, Oklahoma takes the ball right at the Florida State defense, and now the clock winds inside 30 seconds to play. Billy Sims carried behind Lewis O'Bray and Terry Crouch. 3rd down, less than a yard, John.
I think you're getting the reason that Coach Bowden has not called timeout. He said we let the momentum get away from us. He must feel that calling timeout at this point would be futile. It's down to 6 seconds. I don't think we're going to have any more plays in the first half. He knows they have to capitalize when they get the breaks. They had a few and didn't.
So time winds out. And Oklahoma strikes back as they have so many times. The Sooners going up to a 17-7 lead. Now let's go down to the sideline and Bob Trumpy.
Thanks, Don. Barry Switzer on the sideline. It appears that Florida State's moving Simmons off the nose, and you're not running up the middle. But good offensive effort for you in the first half.
Well, they're shifting the whole line down. They're reducing the split inside and moving him over a weak side guard. That's a defense we play against quite a bit, Bob. But Florida State, we've playing a little bit better defense right now. The first 3 possessions they had to go right down the field, but we're playing pretty good defense right now. And
it does appear in passing situations, too. You're rushing just 3 guys and putting 8 guys back there to try to stop them, and they really are having problems.
We're playing a little different defensive alignments in secondary than we've shown all year. We're usually a 2-deep team, but they throw the ball too well in our deep people. We can't afford to play that.
Are you happy with the first half performance of your team?
Well, we made a lot of mistakes, but when you lead to 10 points, you got to be happy. You know, the kicking game nearly killed us. Their kicking game nearly killed them there, but that we got 3 out of it, and we fumbled a punt return, and we've got another 7. But we've got to play better the second half.
Gotcha. Thank you, Barry. 17-7 there. Oklahoma's leading. Let's go back up to Don Criqui.
There we have it. Halftime score is 17-7. Oklahoma rallying back from a 7-0 deficit to take the lead at halftime. Coming up, the Beam, the Banjo, and a great halftime show will return to the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida after this. He said, we can play a perfect defense and give up an 80-yard touchdown to these guys. They're that good. That was really the case when J.C. Watts, their quarterback, rolled out, cut back. A couple guys had a shot, but he was gone.
Well, I think what Bowden expected, which really hasn't happened after the first couple series of plays, is that Oklahoma might be a little flat and not respect them as they hoped they would. And when they caught him by surprise, they let him off the hook. Now they've got to get it back and get humping and play the kind of offense they can play. And they haven't done it in the second quarter.
Well, we had a great game earlier today. I'm sure you saw it on NBC, the 1980 Rose Bowl game. USC coming from behind to win it, and Dick Enberg has the highlights.
For the common man.
Well, I could be obvious and say they have to score a few points, but I really think what they have to do is they have to stop Oklahoma the first time they get the ball. Now, Bowden has mentioned several times during the season they've been behind. It's nothing for them to be behind by 10 to 14 points, but they haven't been behind Oklahoma by 17 points, and they can blow you right out of the tub. I think their defensive series, the first time Oklahoma gets the ball, since they will receive, will be the indicator of the ball game.
Well, Oklahoma will get the kickoff to start the second half. The Sooners leading by 10 at this point. And you feel then it's imperative they don't let another touchdown go up on the first Sooner drive.
Well, yeah, I think you heard when you heard Barry Switzer say that they're trying to mix as many defenses up as they can, trying to confuse the quarterbacks. Well, actually, Woody Woodham hasn't had an opportunity to play very much, but he's the guy, their high percentage thrower, had very few interceptions. They have to pick and diddle right now and dink, as Fran Tarkington used to do, and see if they can't get something generated. I think that's the way they're best to go.
I'll accept that, John. And we'll be back with the second half of this 1980 Orange Bowl game. Play that ignited the Sooners was a 61-yard touchdown run by J.C. Watts of Oklahoma, their quarterback. That tied the game, and then Oklahoma took over from there. Let's watch J.C. Watts.
Well, we've talked about explosion. Now, his hometown is Miami, Florida. You know how many favorites he has right here now. When he got by, he was gone.
J.C. Watts takes it into the end zone. That was the game-tying touchdown with a subsequent extra point. And look at the total yards for Oklahoma, 149, all on the ground. No yards passing. So right now, ready to kick the ball off are the Oklahoma Sooners. Kelly Burney is back deep for Florida State. He'll be standing at the goal line. Ready to kick off for Oklahoma is Darrell Ray. A senior All-American defensive back from Killeen, Texas, Darrell Ray. And that Oklahoma secondary, they came up with a big play. Hebert with the interception that subsequently was turned into the go-ahead touchdown.
Donna, you know, I just mentioned that J.C. Watts was from Miami, Florida. Obviously, he's from Eufaula, Oklahoma. So the people in Eufaula know that I was telling a lie. It's Eugene Nixon.
There's a couple of Sooners from Florida, more than a couple. They also look at players down here. And right now, the Oklahoma Sooners with a 17-7 lead are ready to kick it off to start the third quarter of this 1980 Orange Bowl game. Oklahoma fell behind early. The first time they got their hands on the ball was a punt return. You may remember early in the game. Basil Banks ran it back 67 yards, was headed for the end zone, was hit, and he fumbled. Was recovered in the end zone for a touchback. That threat was stopped. Oklahoma with its explosion, though, got it together. Here's the kickoff. Burney with the ball for Florida State. Across the 15-yard line, across the 20. and out to the 24-yard line. Florida State goes on offense 1st and 10 after a 22-yard return. Darrell Sanji was down to make the tackle for the Sooners. Wally Woodham will open at quarterback in the 3rd quarter. Jimmy Jordan started the game for Florida State. Wally Woodham, as Coach Bobby Bowden says, we don't have one first-string quarterback, we have two. They alternate. 1st and 10, Florida State. 29-yard line, their 24-yard line. They go straight ahead to the fullback, Mark Wiles, who scored 9 touchdowns this past season, averaging 4.4 yards a rush, pushing for just over 1,000 yards.
Well, we know it's a pass play. I don't know what the pattern a Cadillac describes, but it's a three receiver route. 2nd down and 8. We'll have to wait and see.
Florida State comes into this game with a 15-game win streak, 11 straight this season, a perfect record, the 2nd longest win streak in college football. In the flat, the ball is thrown. They're going to the fullback, Lyles. It was broken up by defensive end Bruce Tayton. Oklahoma plays small, quick defensive ends, almost like linebackers. Tayton 6'4", 211. They'll drop off the line, cover like linebackers, but they can also get down to 3-point and come at him on the rush.
You bet. And I bet a lot of people would wonder why he's wearing the number 5. He was a quarterback when he came to Oklahoma. He was such a fine athlete, they had to play him. They didn't play him at quarterback. They played him at defensive end. And as you say, he plays like a linebacker, and at 212, 215, he can move.
They recruit backfield players at Oklahoma. When the Selman brothers came out of Eufaula, they were fullbacks. Here's a throw down the field, and overthrown. Woodham was going into his wide receiver, Jackie Flowers, but again, a Sooner ultimately was the closest to the ball.
Well, Sherwood Taylor made an excellent play. Now, what they've done, as Barry Switzer said, they've used a multiplicity of defenses. They haven't shown you the same look. They've been playing with 3 defensive backs deep. They've been playing with a free safety. We see Bud Ebert way down the field, and they've just mixed it up.
Here comes that first possession of Oklahoma that will be so important for Florida State to establish. Stop it if they can. Ron Stark with a high punt downfield. Ball is taken. Return past the 35-yard line. Running with the ball for Oklahoma was Darrell Shepard. There's a penalty marker down on the return. 42-yard punt by Stark to Florida State. Give you an idea, the athletes they recruited at Oklahoma, George Cumby, their consensus All-American linebacker, came in as a running back. And they say right now he is the 2nd best running back on the football team next to Billy Sims, but such a good defensive player that they have there.
You were talking about recruiting, and you know Bobby Bowden has a necessity to recruit extremely well, at least by 1981, because he plays 5 of the top 10 teams in the country in succession away during that period of time.
He's got some tough ones coming up in 81. Right now with 13:56 to play in the 3rd quarter. We pause in the action here at the 1980 Orange Bowl, and we'll return with Oklahoma. Now let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is 23, KNDO Yakima.
With John Brody and Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui at the 1980 Orange Bowl in Miami. Oklahoma in the lead 17-7. The Sooners with their first possession of the 3rd quarter. J.C. Watts at quarterback. His All-American Billy Sims breaks it. Sims with 1 man to beat, turns outside, and a great open field tackle is made by Bobby Butler that could have saved Billy Sims going 81 yards for a touchdown.
Bobby Butler has made 3 or 4 outstanding open field tackles. Now that's a typical play where Billy Sims goes 71, goes 77. Now on the 3 occasions where he's broken loose at the line of scrimmage, and you can see them just taking people and blowing them out up in the middle, and you don't see it when Ron Simmons is in there very often. Billy Sims gets free. Butler makes a great saving tackle. Could have saved a touchdown.
26-yard gain on the play, and so it is 1st and 10 for Oklahoma. They go right back to the run, and again they deliver. Carrying the ball straight ahead, the fullback, Stanley Wilson. Scott Warren, the defensive end, made the knockdown on the play. Oklahoma comes out flying, John.
We mentioned it's imperative for Florida State that they stop him on the first drive, because Oklahoma can absolutely blow you out when they get things going their way.
Second down and 3 coming up for the Sooners. Getting a little colder now in Miami. Here is the handoff. They go straight ahead. First down carry. Billy Sims runs the ball straight at the Florida State Seminoles. Mark Mosick and Paul Porowski knocked him down, but Billy Sims has a Sooner first down. 149 yards rushing in the first half for Oklahoma. They didn't have a single yard passing. J.C. Watts, he ignited his team with that 61-yard quarterback keeper for a touchdown. Billy Sims scored 22 touchdowns this season, 132 points. He knows where that end zone is and gets there often, and now they go right back to him. This time the run is shut down by Scott Warren. Number 80 for Florida State.
All right, we've discussed previously that it's been hard for Ron Simmons, one of the finest down linemen, if not the finest, number 50 in the white and red jersey with the gold pants, by the way. You can see why he's not in on many plays. They've assigned 2 or 3 down linemen to handle it. They're going to get him out of the way, and if they make something from there, fine.
Watch that Oklahoma center, though. Tabor come off the ball. He's putting a hard hit on Simmons right off the play. This time he goes to the middle backer. Free football. Florida State has the ball. So Oklahoma, with its second fumble of the night, might be Ron Simmons off the bottom of the pile. Coming up with the ball is Arthur Scott, number 54. Simmons and Scott go for it, and Arthur Scott comes up with the ball. So, Florida State stops the Oklahoma drive. Beneficiaries of a turnover. It's 1st and 10 for the Seminoles at their 43-yard line. Big draw. Woodham takes a look. Now he's going to run the ball. Dove ahead, got only 2. Got to the 45 and only 2nd down and 8. George Cumbie was coming at him, and Woodham knew he didn't want to get hit by that.
Well, actually, they're running patterns in anticipation of certain defenses that they're not seeing. That time they're trying to go to the spread end to the short side of the field on the left. He goes back. He's got 1 receiver in the pattern. They've got 3 defenders triple covering him. Now, when you fool somebody, it doesn't matter how good your structure is, you're fooled.
On 2nd and 8, Woodham takes a deep drop, stands in, throws, it's too high. Mike Babb, the right corner, and Sherwood Taylor converging on the coverage. Florida State trying to get the ball upfield, but coverage is good. Phil Williams running the pattern, number 87.
All right, when you find that it's not covered the first play, sometimes you're a little late coming to the open man on the second play. This play would only have been good for 4 or 5 yards if he'd thrown it on the break. Right now, they've got to find a way to get somebody open.
Woodham has thrown the ball 4 times. He's yet to make a completion for Florida State. 3rd down and 8 now for the Seminoles. Woodham swings it out. Too much to lead on the ball for his fullback. Mark Lyles, the fullback, too much lead on it. So Woodham has failed to move the Florida State Seminoles in this series. They'll have to punt the ball back to Oklahoma.
At least push up field more before they come on the square end. Yeah. Okay, well, run up. Okay. Hey, X and Z's, come here. X and Z's.
Those are the wide receivers, Donnie, and they do have to get it together.
Ron Stark in to punt again. Oklahoma sets up the coverage. Stark hits a knuckleball downfield, moving up. Letting it roll now. The Sooners let it roll down inside the 15-yard line to about the 13. Darrell Shepard took a look at it, let it roll, and Coach Barry Switzer in his 8th year as the head coach of the Sooners takes his head. His punt cuts off in a hole. And we'll ready to go now. Oklahoma on offense, 1st and 10, second possession of the second half. Fumbled away the last time. Sooners lead as they did at halftime, 17-7. Billy Sims breaks it, and Sims gets across the 20 and out to the 24-yard line. An 11-yard gain, a first down for the Sooners. Free safety Monk Bonasort saved him from going a lot farther.
You know, Bonasort, he did stop the play, all right? But Bobby Butler, again, has to make the final hit. Now, I don't know, they must feel like they know each other very well after as much as they've seen of one another tonight, but it just amazes me that a guy like Butler can be in on play after play and not allow him to get past him.
Well, Merv Johnson, the assistant head coach of Oklahoma, said they've never seen a secondary that can tackle on the run like Florida State. They make plays all over the field, and very few teams do off the dead run. Now, J.C. Watts comes spinning upfield and turns it across the 35-yard line of the Sooners and out to the 37. Heath Jones, the strong safety, got him. The tackles are coming from the Florida State secondary, and they're coming 10 and 12 yards downfield.
And Keith Jones, as well as we've seen Butler hit all night, is the man that's known to be the best secondary hitter on the Florida State University Ball Club. All of them are hitters, but they're extremely good at pass defense.
First down and 10 for Oklahoma. The ball to the 37-yard line of the Sooners. Here's a throw, and Watts gets it out to Freddie Nixon. Nixon's knee apparently was down when he made the turn, but he does get the good gainer. It's about an 8-yard pickup out to the 44-yard line.
When you can run as well as Watts can, you can bet your wide receivers are going to be pretty cleanly open when you run little play-action passes and fake options, as was Nixon.
Well, something else you'll see, John, in this Oklahoma offense. Forrest Valora, sure-handed tight end, number 82. He will block and block and block for 3 quarters, and all of a sudden they'll send him deep, like they did against Nebraska with the deciding touchdown. He went 58 yards into the end zone for a score. On a pass reception, nobody covered him after a while. Now on the 2nd and 2 carry, Billy Sims drives it straight ahead for 7 yards. In an Oklahoma first down. Louis Oubre and Terry Crouch, the left side of the offensive line, lead the blocking.
The offensive line right now is winning the line of scrimmage as far as Oklahoma is concerned. We can see Tabor on Simmons. Simmons has had a tough time getting his hand on the ball carry, and when the ball carry's been Sims, I don't believe they've met all night.
Billy Sims has run with the ball 13 times. He's gained 97 yards for Oklahoma. The third quarter clock winds down now, 9:05 to play. First and 10 Sooners. First back through is Stanley Wilson, the fullback, and he turns outside. And again, it is the Florida State secondary that must bring him down. Oklahoma, John, is breaking that first wave of defense.
Up to 43.
Say, Don, you know, the center, Tabor, Don Key, the guard, Crouch, the 3 of them are all having a piece of Ron Simmons. Now, there's no one man that's going to handle him alone. It might look like he's getting his lunch handed to him, but he's a great football player. The people standing next to him are going to have to start pulling up the slack, and they haven't been doing it.
Well, they say Simmons is getting off light when he gets a double team. Good part of the time he's got 3 guys blocking on him. On 2nd down and 5, Oklahoma goes right back to the run. Billy Sims, a senior from Hook, Texas, takes it across and inside the 40-yard line and down to the 38-yard line of Florida State. Billy Sims started the season at 218 pounds. He's playing right now at 208, 6 feet tall. Exceptional leg strength, very powerful. Take those tackles on his thighs and bounce right off. Now, his great attribute, as all the great ones have, is balance. He's an inch off the ground, he picks it up, spins, and he's still going. Now he's over 100 yards for the night. 14 carries, 101.
I can remember when Billy Brooks was a #1 draft choice out of Oklahoma, and I think he'd caught 7 or 8 balls all year long. People wondered, why was he drafted #1 as a wide receiver? Because they do have scouts who come down here and check the little things that are very important to a pro franchise, such as, is Billy Sims the sort of fellow that can catch the ball as an offensive receiver? He might become one of the greatest offensive receivers if something ever happened to him and they didn't use him as a running back. He's a natural catching the ball.
3rd down and inches, and J.C. Watts calls his own #1, takes it straight ahead. He's shut down quickly. Simmons fended off the block and powered in there to hit on J.C. Watts, but we'll see if he got enough for the first down. Last year, 10 Oklahoma players were drafted to play in the National Football League. All 10 made the roster. A lot of them are starting as rookies. Another one playing pro football as a free agent, 11. They have more players in the NFL than any school, 37. J.C. Watts has got some impressive numbers running the ball. Our statistician Hank Goldberg pointing out here he is 9 carries for 86 yards. Sims 101. First down Oklahoma. Watts rolling out. He tripped up. Linebacker Reggie Reggie Herring shot the gap, made a play on Watts in the backfield, slowed him up, and he finally went down. But again, he got ahead for yardage. Watts is a junior, 5'11", strong, 205 pounds. Have an awful lot to look at. The deception of the wishbone offense. They say it's a difficult offense to come from behind with. So tough to throw out of it. Oklahoma's rarely behind.
I was going to say they don't get much behind with it.
We're tonight, but came right back. It's 17-7 Oklahoma. 7:20 to play in the third quarter. They go to Billy Sims. Power off the right side. Ed Culver and Don Key and Forrest Valora, the tight end, all blocking straight ahead. And Sims, with that great acceleration, moves it on through. There's Larry Zonka. He was a college roommate of Syracuse. At Syracuse was one of the Florida State coaches, Nick Kish. Bobby Bowden's liable to send Big Zonk in there in a minute. Now let's go down to Bob Trumpy.
Twin brother of Paul Tabor, the Oklahoma center. How's your brother doing, Phil?
He's looked like he's faring pretty good. I don't know. They're moving the ball all right now, and they're moving the ball now. It means he's doing a pretty good job.
Was he excited about this ball game? Did he think he'd have trouble with Simmons?
Oh, they usually double team the nose guard a lot in the wishbone, and they've been running a lot of even man front, which eliminates that. They're a good coaching staff in Florida State, and they knew that, so that's when they've been running that.
Thank you, Phil. One of the 10 draftees into the NFL you were talking about earlier, John, Phil Tabor.
He is. Came as a fourth-round draft choice and started for the New York Giants as a rookie. And we'll come back to the Orange Bowl. Back to live action in the Orange Bowl now. Oklahoma comes out of the huddle. 3rd down and 5 coming up. Florida State sends 6 men up to the defensive front. Fake, handoff, and Billy Sims is knocked down for no gain. That was Reggie Herring, number 39, who got him first. So the Sooners will have to punt the ball back unless they go for a home run field goal.
Well, we mentioned that they're putting so many people in the middle of the line to try and handle Simmons that the people just to his outside have got to pick up the slack. Herring has picked it up on the past 2 plays. As a result, they've got a punt.
Mike Keeling, the freshman from Dallas, who does all the kicking for Oklahoma, place kicking and the punting. Standing back at the 48-yard line of Florida State. Gary Henry is back for the Seminoles, standing at his 10. Bullet snap. Hunt carrying inside the 5 and hops on into the end zone for a touchback, and Florida State will come out on offense 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Tonight, there's the Florida State fans starting up as their Seminoles come out. Tonight, KPRC in Houston and the NBC TV network mark 30 years together. So congratulations and the very best to Jack Harris, the president, and everyone at Channel 2 in Houston, KPRC. We have 6:17 left to play in the third quarter. Stanley Wilson, rookie fullback, being attended to. They've got another great freshman, first-year player, Weldon Ledbetter, who might be in the game shortly. Here's a handoff, turning the corner, is coming wide as Mike Whiting, who you'll remember scored the game's first touchdown. He pays as he turns the corner. Cumby, 28, came up and struck him.
Right 91.
Right 91. Looks like some sort of a draw. You'll notice right now that Bowden might be thinking about running the ball a little bit more, but just to take advantage of the fact that Oklahoma's now using 5 backs.
2nd down and 5. They do indeed go to the draw. Straight ahead, it is to Mark Lyles, who powers across the 30. It looks like he has a Florida State first down.
He's got a first down. I'll tell you, it puts such a burden on those linebackers when you don't have 3 of them. If you've only got 2 and you're also playing with 4 down linemen, there's a gap in there somewhere. If you double team, you'll create a natural hole. They did so over the center, and it wasn't too tough to pick up a first down.
John Madden down over the ball at center. Mike Good and Greg Futz the guards for Florida State. Tom Brannon and Ken Lanier the tackles. Pitch back goes, and here comes Whiting dancing, and he moves inside and takes it out across the 35-yard line to the 36. On a first down carry, he got 6.
I think that's enough, huh? L46. George, let's come back with a Y cross, 344 Y, 344 Y, 344 Y cross. Let's see if we can get that, huh?
This will be a running play, but he's trying to set up a play number pass with his tight end.
Pitch back goes. Whiting with good moves, breaks into open field, and then cuts back inside against the Oklahoma defense, takes the ball across the 45-yard line and out to the 48. He was finally brought down by Darrell Ray. An 11-yard gain.
You know, their offensive line is fine, and they're holding people out. They're now making a few grooves up in the middle. We mentioned there's no linebackers to pull up the slack. You know, George Cumbie may be as fine a linebacker as there is in the country, but he's no match to fill a 5-yard hole.
A good look a second time. Our producer tonight for NBC is Mike Weissman. Our director is Ken Fouts. Here's Michael Whiting turning the corner. Coming across the 45-yard line on a first down carry. He might have lost a yard as Oklahoma shut it down. Barry Bergen blocked off the last time made the play.
Hand back at 5.
It was
George, I want an L. I want to come back with a Y cross now.
Chevy me.
And I want to hit the Y on the cross. How can you get it?
Chevy, call Chevy.
Yeah, he'll look for Z.
No. Chevy, just saying Chevy Y cross.
Got to get in the same page here, the coaches.
Trying to get his tight end over the middle, but in the meantime, he's going to be running the ball.
Second down and 11. They go to Whiting. They're not going to be running it far, though, as the Sooners are starting to shoot the gap. John Goodman, number 72.
344 Chevy. Y cross. Tell him to hit Y.
Play action pass with their tight end over the middle. Most play action passes are meant to hold linebackers. If it does hold Cumbie, they'll be able to get to their tight end over the middle.
Sam Childers is the tight end right now, number 84. Early in the game on a 3rd and 10 play, you may remember they went to tight end Grady King and got the first down. Let's play. Tight end releases over the middle. There's the throw. The ball is caught by Childers. He's got it for a first down. Big reception by Sam Childers. Junior from Tallahassee, Florida.
All right, he makes a fine play, and you can see that Woodham comes to him just a little bit late. They run out of room. The ball has to be thrown as well as it could possibly be thrown for them to get the reception. That's fine execution under tough circumstances.
14-yard gain downfield, so now Florida State starts to move the ball. They have it at the 40-yard line of Oklahoma. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the third quarter. The Sooners are leading by 10, 17-7. Right back to the pass goes Wally Woodham. He's got room to run. And Woodham takes it down to the 35-yard line of the Sooners. He gained 5 yards on the quarterback keep when the coverage was there and no pass was open.
Don, they're dropping so many people back right now, they're going to give FSU 4 or 5 yards running the football. They don't feel that's the way they're going to be beat. They've got a 10-point lead. They're going to make FSU execute. If they can do that, let them have a few points.
Second down and 5 coming up. Woodham goes right back to throw. Cumbie was coming on a blitz. Woodham delivers. Oh, it might be intercepted. It looks like Bud Hebert has his second of the night. That's the ruling. He's got it.
Don, it's really hard to tell when you have an outstanding free safety back there at Oklahoma because they don't throw too much against him. When they do, they throw to the outside. This fella looks like an opportunist. They give him the job of standing in the back, playing center field. You can see they had a little bit of foul up on the pattern. Woodham threw the ball a little bit in front of the receiver, and Hebert was there to make the turnover.
So Hebert is having a big night. He's got 2. One led to the go-ahead touchdown when he ran it back to the 10-yard line. And right now the Oklahoma Sooners, leading as they did at the half, take over first and 10, 17-7. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Valora switches from left to right. The tight end. Second back through is Billy Sims, and he's out to the 25-yard line. He gained about 3.5.
Like a 5, I thought he said R, and I just lined up for them.
Yeah, but don't blow it.
Yes, sir.
That took care of that problem. What they were discussing is the fact that the tight end ran into the wide receiver. When he did so, he couldn't get into the area they were trying to throw the ball. And, you know, the sideline is no place for sweetness.
Not usually. There's even less on the field. Second down and 6. J.C. Watts hands off. And there is Weldon Lindell. Ledbetter, a 6'2", 210-pound first-year fullback from St. Louis. Now, I think we see a yellow flag down there. Is it just something that flew out in the field? Yes, it is.
First down.
Bonestort again made the tackle.
Where's the tack? Come on down, Richard.
He's had a full night's work.
There you go. All the way. Now, let's wire. Corners, you still got to look for the sweep plays here.
They have backs, and then they have more backs at Oklahoma. Weldon Ledbetter is the up back, the fullback. J.C. Watts carries the ball. He's not done yet. J.C. Watts takes it across midfield. He gets down inside the 45-yard line of Florida State. He's down to the 44. Reggie Herring finally knocked him down with a 22-yard gain on the play as Watts, the quarterback's over 100 yards for the night.
Watts does such a fine job of making the proper move at the proper time. You can see he and Sims work so well together. He's staying the proper distance between them. But when Watts makes the cut, he knows he's got something right now. He takes what they give him and he picks up the first.
JC's planning to be a sports announcer. He's in the sports communications major at Oklahoma.
He's singing?
Not at all. Gets in the end zone. He did that tonight. 50 seconds to go now in the third quarter. Oklahoma on a first down carry advances the ball down to the 40. Billy Sims got the call. And Walter Carter and Ron Simmons tackled it. Here comes the play in from the sideline. Bobby Grayson, wide receiver, comes in. Florida State was moving. You heard Coach Bowden say to his players on the sideline, we're getting people open. Let's hit it. 25 seconds. Clock running. Third quarter. 17-7 Oklahoma. Second down and 6. Rolling out is Watts. And Watts is down inside the 40, well short of a first down. Reggie Herring made the play. Every year, the Florida State linebackers lead the team in tackles. That's primarily because a player like Simmons up in front getting those double and triple team backs, it frees a lot of things for them. Third quarter just ran out. Let's go down to Coach Bowden. We'll be back with the fourth quarter.
Oklahoma bench, George Gumby, All-American linebacker, there with problems with his eyes, got stuff in his eye. Are you all right, George?
Yeah, all right. Did you just dirt in it? That's all. Just a little dirt popped up in my eye.
Is it tough for you playing against the pass offense of Florida State out there?
No, it's just that we didn't have the right things at first, you know, to go against it. But now we saw what they done. Now we can do, you know, get everything down like we should.
That's one guy Oklahoma needs for the rest of the night. George Gumby. Back to you, Don.
Well, as Coach Barry Switzer says, he's one guy he thinks could go head-on with Earl Campbell and knock him backwards. I'd like to see that, but he can hit. Free football. Watts picks it up, throws it. Freddie Nixon sees it come in on the one hop.
Hey, you know, both these defenses are making the opposing offenses do what they'd like to have them do. That was a third down play in which they got Oklahoma to throw the ball. Oklahoma, conversely, has made FSU run the ball. Neither one is effective at doing either. And if they can create that sort of situation from a defensive standpoint, they're doing their job. Maybe that's why we had no points scored in the third quarter.
Not a one. We're in the fourth quarter now. 3 seconds into it. 14:57. Here's Keeling into punt for the Sooners. Standing back in his 46, hits it from midfield. A high punt. Their catch is signaled for, and it's made. Gary Henry comes up on the ball, makes it to the 15-yard line. So we'll see Florida State come out of throwing when we come back to the Orange Bowl in Miami. 24-yard punt placed downfield of the 15. The score remains the Sooners of Oklahoma 17. Florida State 7. Across the 15-yard line to about the 18. Want to keep that Oklahoma pass rush honest. They're going to be
left 290 Cadillac.
Oh, Phil.
Drag, Coach.
290 Cadillac down. That's another pattern. Second, 6, throwing situation.
Bill Williams comes out on the right flank. Jackie Flowers is out to the left. Second down and 7. Williams stands in. Throws over the middle. And the ball was very nearly intercepted. They're going to Bill Williams. Jay Jimerson, a junior defensive back. Number 15 had a play on the ball and almost
either
Jay Jimerson made an outstanding play. He came all the way from the left corner position to make that play.
Left flex, 68 Z drag.
Z drag, Don. That's the receiver to the tight end side of the field.
Pretty good. Hey, Coach, we nearly had that thing playing. That thing nearly broke big. If he could have made that play.
It did break big. They beat it, but they did not execute it.
Woodham has hit only 1 of 8 passes for 14 yards. That first down throw to Childers. Here's a tip ball. They're going to Jackie Flowers. Big John Goodman, the fastest defensive lineman they may have ever had at Oklahoma, would put the rush on. Number 72.
I better get Jimmy loosened up. Jimmy, get loosened up. We got to have some throws.
The Cadillac on fire.
Going back to his other quarterback.
Cadillac, yes, sir.
Well, they're going back to the one that started the ball game, Don, and you notice he does insert them not because they're doing well or not well, but generally because of the style of the play. And you can look for that thing to go down the field.
Ron Stark punts it downfield. Here's Darrell Rayfair catching the ball at his 49-yard line for Oklahoma. 33-yard punt on the play. And so with 13:58 to play in the game, the Oklahoma Sooners leading us into the half 17-7 take over the ball.
Copier companies have been introducing small copiers with a very interesting claim.
It's just as good as a Xerox.
It's just as good as a Xerox. Then one day...
this compact copier is very versatile. It even copies on your own letterhead. It's inexpensive, but best of all...
I know, it's just as good as a Xerox.
It is a Xerox.
The Xerox 2600, the compact copier that really is just as good as a Xerox.
Sorry, no experience, no job. But where do I get the experience?
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines.
We don't ask for experience, we give it. You won't read it in a book, you live it. Pick a service, pick a challenge, set yourself apart.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. What a great place, it's a great place to start.
He's a city of Miami gets behind the Orange Bowl. It is not only a great football classic, it's a great week. The Orange Bowl parade and many things to go with it. Under Executive Director Dan McNamara and Eugene Cohen, the president of the Orange Bowl Committee. They certainly treat everybody from NBC very well. We have the president of NBC Sports here, Arthur Watson, Executive Vice President Jeff Mason. Everybody's been down here about a week. They might stay. Here's Freddie Nixon with the ball. Open throw down to the 21-yard line. Reggie Herring saved the touchdown as Freddie Nixon. There's a Greyhound. Look at him bounce when he runs.
Oh, he's got to be licking his chops all game long because they've been running that option. They've been doing so effectively. Now a little fake. He goes back. This is the man that lives in Miami in front of his hometown group. In his last year, he's doing quite a job. He is the leading receiver for the Sooners. Not a whole lot of catches, but they've mostly been big ones.
30-yard gain on the play. Here's a free ball, and Florida State comes back with the football. Mark Mossick, number 67, a junior from Wyandotte, Michigan, gets the ball back for Florida State. So they're still in it out of the Seminoles with 13:31 to play.
344 Z corner. 344 Z corner.
Okay. 344 Z corner, play action pass. He's going to his wide receiver, the side of the tight end, trying to get him to the corner on first down. They've got to get something moving. When they do, they try to get Jimmy Jordan in there to go down the field long.
3 fumbles lost tonight. Now Jimmy Jordan back in the game at quarterback after starting, and he's ready to let it rip. Long arm, he fires in the flat. Intercepted by Oklahoma. Bud Hebert has his 3rd interception of the football game.
And he played that ball from the time it was snapped from center. He was playing center field on the flag. He went back, he followed Jordan all the way back in the pocket. He kind of cruised out there and lulled him into throwing the ball to the corner. When he did so, he fooled both the receiver and the quarterback.
Bud Hebert starting at free safety, a 6', 185-pound senior from Beaumont, Texas. 3 interceptions.
Jordan's going to the outside all the way. Hebert's there to pick it off from the time it's thrown.
He's having a Vernon Perry day tonight. Last year, Hebert was the guy who held in Columbus, Ohio for Von Schauman's game-deciding field goal. Started at wide receiver 1 game for Oklahoma, plays defensive back. You can see he knows how to catch the ball as a wide receiver. No matter which way he's going. Here's another free ball, and looks like Florida State has it again. ball about 20 yards farther down the field.
Don, the impressive thing to me is the way Oklahoma has hung in there when they have turned the ball over. 4 fumbles is just about par for their course. But, I mean, to have your defense hang in there and keep making turnover after turnover when people are expecting you to wilt, that's putting up.
So the Sooners keep Florida State in it. Confident back up at 17-7 Oklahoma, but a lot of time to play. 13-17 to go. Jordan pitches back. Whiting runs with the ball. And Oklahoma's there to shut it down. Scott Dawson, number 78, led the charge. Also on the play for Oklahoma was 72, John Goodman, senior from Garland, Texas. Second down, it was a 3-yard pickup on the play. Second down, a long 7 coming up for Florida State at their 38-yard line.
You'll get some sort of play against the flow right now.
Reverse. Running with the ball is Sam Platt. Turns the corner. He got across the 40, not to about the 42-yard line. It'll leave him some 5 yards short of a first down. Sam can move it out, though.
Listen, I want to right 290, wide out. You take off. Okay. Right 290, wide out.
Jackie Flowers are going to take off and look for a thrown ball.
And he'll probably get it if he can beat that defense. Play action pass again.
If he doesn't get it, Hebert will. Third down and 4, Florida State. Jordan throws hard, hits his tight end. Sam Childers coming back at the ball.
That was a very well-run pattern by Childers, too. Hey, we mentioned that they've been covering him a little closer in the middle. They're trying to put the free safety in a position to pick up the tight end. Okay, Sheldon Taylor, just a little late.
So Childers with his second third down reception for a first down in this game. He's made some big plays. That time he came back and the ball was just off. First and 10, Florida State, 48-yard line of Oklahoma. Back to Whiting, turning the corner. Whiting takes on the challenge. Mike Babb holds his ground, knocks him down. George Cumby was also on the ground.
He doesn't? You want to pitch out? R46 halfback pass.
That's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it, Donnie? That doesn't mean it's going to him. It means it's going from him.
It comes on a second down and 6 play for Florida State at the 44-yard line of Oklahoma. High set in the backfield. Deep backers Whiting, up backers the big fullback Lyles. Pitch back to Whiting. He's looking to cock his arm and unload. Now he turns upfield. Didn't get there. Third down will come up. Jackie Flowers is open from
third down and 3. Okay, now how about a little 4-Z reverse? L, R. No, R.
44Z reverse, third down and 4. It's a wide receiver reverse. They tried it a moment ago, picked up about 4, and that's just what they've got left to pick up the first down.
Jordan's combined numbers for the game throwing are 7 of 15 for 86 yards. He's been intercepted twice. End around, running high with the ball with Sam Platt. Turns the corner, and there is the big play. Coming up to make the tackle was Barry Dittman, number 38. Well, 2 good Oklahoma linebackers. It came on a third down carry. It was short of the first down.
Punt it. It's fourth down, ain't it? Punt it. Punt it. Punt it. What do you think of it? Hit the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I tell you, that's the quality that a good coach has to have, Don. When you sit there and you listen to a lot of anxiety on the sideline, you listen to a lot of temper, and you have to be willing to make a statement or a decision at a time when it looks like everything's a bit chaotic. And I think that's been one of Bowden's strengths over the years, and he thinks it's the best thing to do right now. And I kind of agree with him. They haven't been moving the ball at all offensively, and they've been getting it back defensively.
Now they kick it down inside the 5, and the ball is down, and Coach Bowden, his strategy holds up very well.
You bet. Oklahoma's fumbled the ball 4 times. It's no cinch to get it out down there. FSU needs a break. Maybe they can.
Jay Hucker, Gale Sayers, Hall of Fame talent for the Chicago Bears. That's why that was against the 49ers, wasn't it?
Yeah, thank you.
It was an off track too, wasn't it? A wet field?
We got the ball a lot, but we didn't hang on to it long.
9:11 to play. Oklahoma leads 17-7, but the Sooners start out from their 1. They go to the fullback, and he's not going to get much. Florida State's in quickly to shut down the run. That'll bring up 2nd down. Stanley Wilson, the freshman fullback. So the Oklahoma Sooners takes the ball out.
Don, he got some. When you get 3 yards, whether you're on the other team's 5 or inside your own 5, that's just like a goal line situation. They must stuff Oklahoma if you're FSU right now for them to get back in this ball game. They know it, and they're going to sacrifice a few things defensively to stop.
2nd down and a long 6 for Oklahoma. They go to the run. They break it. And again, they go to the fullback, Wilson, and he's straight ahead, and he has a 1st down for the Sooners out to the 16-yard line.
Okay, Oklahoma has been with their back to the wall twice tonight inside their 4-yard line. Both times they've come up and made a 1st down, and the first 2 times they carried the ball. Stanley Wilson, the freshman, played a big part in it. He's coming on pretty fast.
So the Sooners move it out. They were deep in their own area, back inside their 2-yard line. Now they have it 1st and 10 at the 16. J.C. Watts tries to turn upfield. Montesort was on the play. Florida State runs it down well. Short gain on the play out to the 19. 2nd down and 7. J.C. Watts has run 13 times for 116 yards for Oklahoma. Billy Sims has run 19 times for 116 yards. Between them, they have 232 yards rushing. On a 2nd down and 7 play, Oklahoma goes to the run. David Overstreet leads the blocking. Stanley Wilson does the carrying. And Wilson has the ball out to the 25-yard line where he's knocked down by Reggie Herring. Very importantly for Oklahoma and certainly for Florida State is the clock, which is winding down at 7:15 to play in the game. Oklahoma with its wishbone offense controls the game clock.
What's your field pass? I think it might be a good time, Don, to mention that, Ed Culver, Don Keith, Paul Tabor, Terry Crouch, Louis Oubre, the offensive line for Oklahoma has gotten them out of a hole twice.
Go ahead. Very good. 3rd down and less than a yard, and Oklahoma goes to the run and gets yet another 1st down, so they move the chain markers and get 4 new downs to work with. Don Key is out. Freshman has been playing the game at right guard. Melora's been blocking well. The tight end, 82. They've not gone to him yet with the pass. But Jim Carter's now in at right guard. There is really a difference. Corner on a 1st down carry is J.C. Watts, and he might have lost a yard. Bring up 2nd and at least 10 as Terry Switzer looks on.
Let's go, coach! Let's see how tough you are! Hurry, let's go!
Go.
Right next to me out here.
Freddie Nixon comes in the game now to play wide receiver for Oklahoma, brings in the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Sooners. They lead the game 17-7. The game clock is down to 6 minutes to play. Pitch back. Billy Sims, not done yet. Billy Sims down the far sideline, crosses the Oklahoma 40 and gets out to the 44-yard line where Reggie Herring knocked him down. 15-yard gain for Billy Sims, who now has 131 yards rushing in the game on 20 carries.
We have noticed all night that Bobby Butler's been making game-saving tackles. This time is the first time that Sims had a one-on-one situation with Butler and actually beat him. Picked up the 1st down and kept the Sooners drive alive.
Oklahoma goes right back to the run. Stanley Wilson, the fullback, got the ball. Ivory Joe Hunter, the right cornerback, number 46, knocked it down. Every one of those Oklahoma backs takes a shot on every play because you've got to play a man-to-man against the wishbone. You never know who has the ball with the deception that's inherent to it.
They might even have to do a little better than that right now. They might have to put 9 or 10 men up there, and if they throw it, that's just what she wrote. Because they've got to get the ball back. There's only 5 minutes left to play, and they've got to make a touchdown and a field goal.
Billy Sims has stood up hard as he takes a head-on shot. Reggie Herring got a clean line on Sims and leveled him. The Sooners keep running the clock. It's down to 4:40 to play in the game. Third down coming up for Oklahoma. Third down and 4. The Tom beat of the Seminole followers starts up. And Oklahoma is controlling the ball game right now, leading 17-7. Handoff first back through the fullback Wilson. Stanley Wilson takes it down close to a first down. Third down and 3 carry. Wilson got it down close to the 46-yard line of Florida State. That time Paul Peralty, 53, the other linebacker, was on the tackle.
Left to play, they might as well throw 11 men out there and hope they can't even play catch and get it to the fella, because that's the only chance they have. They've got to get the ball back, one more first down, puts them right out of luck. We've heard so much about both of these offenses, and yet it's the defenses in the second half that are carrying the load, and that's what most of your good teams are made of.
First down and 10 for Oklahoma. Right back to the run. Right up the middle, Stanley Wilson carries the ball. He advanced it down close to the 41-yard line of Florida State. Monk Bonasorte, the free safety, made the tackle for Florida State. And the game clock continues to tick away. 3:30, 3:27 left to go. Chief Osceola and his horse Renegade hadn't had a chance to loop that field in a long time. Florida State's only touchdown came early when they took a 7-0 lead. They've not been on the board since. We'll be back at the Orange Bowl with John Brody and Bob Trumpy. This is Don Criqui back at the 1980 Orange Bowl in Miami. 3:27 left to play in the game. The Oklahoma Sooners, who led 17-7 at the half, still have that 10-point advantage. And they're driving the ball now down the field and controlling the clock. Second down and 6 is coming up for Oklahoma at the 42-yard line of Florida State. J.C. Watson, quarterback. Second back through is Billy Sims. And tackles made by Keith Baker. And let's go down to Bob Trumpy.
With Barry Switzer on the sideline, Coach, your team has finally established yourself as a real powerhouse in offense.
Well, we had a great field position. We never had any opportunity to score the ball. We made too many mistakes. This is, I hope, a 99-yard drive to control the ball. But the game's not over, Bob.
The number of times you fumbled, do you have any reason for that other than the timing for the wishbone?
No, that's good defense. You know, our fumbles were made because people hit them. It wasn't the execution of our offense. It's individuals' physical contact.
Barry Switzer, Oklahoma coach. Back to you, Don.
Ball isn't that heavy, is it, Bob, to drop it?
It is if you get unloaded on it.
It's real heavy.
Plenty heavy.
13th play in this drive. Oklahoma started at their 1. As Coach Switzer pointed out, they might be taking it 99 yards. They're working on it. Right ahead they go, and the great acceleration of Billy Sims takes the ball down to the 35-yard line of Florida State. There could be another first down. It is.
Let's go. Oh, let's score.
There's Bud Hebert, Orange Bowl MVP on defense. 3 interceptions, an Orange Bowl record. J.C. Watts, the quarterback for the Sooners, who ran that one in from scrimmage, 61 yards for the first touchdown. He's been voted the most valuable player in offense. J.C. Watts. I'd like to thank the Sports Information Director, Mark Carlson of Florida State, and Ned Smith of Florida State, and also Sports Information Director Mike Treps of Oklahoma, and his assistant, Travis Lawrence. Running into the end zone, and there go the Sooners. Billy Sims on the payoff end. So Oklahoma breaks it down the stretch, 1:58 to play, and the Sooners take it in 35 yards and a touchdown.
We mentioned if you get him outside one-on-one long enough, no one man can make a tackle on him in the open field. Now, earlier in the evening, they put Butler in that bind. He was up to the task, and he handled it. Now, Watts creates the situation for Sims. Nobody can handle this man once he gets out in this position.
Watts doing a great job, though.
That's beautiful.
Billy Sims, rated by the pro scouts as the best talent to come out of college football as a runner since O.J. Simpson. Mike Keeling tries the point after attempt. He drills it up and good. So with 1:58 left to play in the game, Billy Sims throws up the victory finger. So Oklahoma, J.C. Watts pitching back to Billy Sims, who took it the rest of the way on a 35-yard touchdown run play. And the Sooners are out in front 24-7 in this 1980 Orange Bowl game on NBC. 1:58 to play in the game. Kickoff by Keeling. Here comes Bernie for Florida State. Off the 20. Neck high, they get him and bring him down. Coming down for the tackle was Ken Sitton, and now let's go back down to the field and Bob Prumpe.
Don with me, the offensive player of the game, J.C. Watts, 14 carries, 116 yards. Quite a night for you.
Thank you. I tell you what, it's a sweet victory for us. We come down here, we was out-rooted in the stands. I think we was out-rooted something like 70,000 to 10,000 fan-wise. And we came out, and our goal was to go out and create our own excitement. And the first quarter we got started slow, but we came around, and it's sweet. We finally got it going.
Johnny Carson heard your tape of singing. He said, you better play quarterback. J.C. Watts, MVP on offense.
And, of course, the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson will be coming up on NBC following local news from your stations around the country. Right now, we have 1:52 left to play. Local news will air immediately following the telecast of this game. The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson will be seen 30 minutes later, except on the West Coast, where it will air at its normal time. Florida State needs a lot of points in a big hurry. Seminoles having a problem right now as they are down 24-7 with 1:52 to play. Jordan stands in, lets her rip downfield. He throws incomplete, second down and 10, Florida State. Oklahoma now, John's just laying back.
Well, the Sooners have actually taken away the passing effectiveness of FSU totally in the second half. They haven't allowed any wide receivers to run free. As a result, FSU has scored 0 points.
Right now, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is Channel 23, KNDO, Yakima.
On second down and 10, Jordan stands in. He throws hard. And Oklahoma's Darrell Ray was close to the ball. They were looking at Hardest Johnson.
Have we got any soft linebackers? Still got them in there, huh? Let's get us a Z-square in. Right, 6-6 Z-square in.
Right now, and it happens to every coach and every quarterback, Don, you get to where you're groping. You find something, you try to hit it. He knows this game is over as far as winning it is concerned. But what a year he's had. I mean, when you come in 6 years from 0-11 to 11-0, and you put a program on the board that in 2 years they're going to play like Nebraska, Ohio State, Pittsburgh, Notre Dame in consecutive weeks, and he's going to get that group ready to play them, and they're going to play them away from home. I mean, what a program he's put together. It's great for FSU, and I don't care what the outcome is. He's great for football.
He really is. We'd like to thank him for being so open in his approach to the game, allowing us to put a wireless mic on him so he can hear what goes on the sideline during the game. He's a great individual, and he's won 11 games his team has this year, and I'll guarantee they're going to win a lot more in the years to come. His record is extraordinary as a head coach. He came in here as the head coach at West Virginia, came into Florida State. He has a perpetuating contract he recently signed. Every year it renews for another 5 years. So they have him forever, and they're glad to have him. Here's the long punt downfield. The Sooners just let it roll. Ball goes all the way down inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. So with 1:21 left to play, the number on the board is Oklahoma 24 and Florida State 7. We'll be back. We return to the Orange Bowl in Miami with 1:21 left to play. We thank everyone involved with our NBC coverage of this game. Our producer tonight, Mike Weissman, our director, Ken Fouts. All our NBC technicians. Is Oklahoma with another impressive win. It will be their 11th of the season. Let's now go to the sidelines and Bob Crumpy.
Thank you, Don. With Bobby Bowden of Florida State. Bobby coming in this ball game. It was David versus Goliath. 24-7. You're trailing Oklahoma. You can't be too upset.
Yeah, I'm upset. We threw some points away early in the ball game that we needed real bad against these people. I don't think we made a big play. I don't think after the first quarter we made a big play. I don't think we made a big play at all.
Were you surprised that they put 8 people back there in defensive coverage to stop your pass game, or did you expect that from Oklahoma?
Well, yeah, I expected that. I expected them to play 8 deep. I expected them to play 7 deep all the time. And but our inability to move the ball on the ground when they only play a 4-man front, you're not going to win like that. They played 5 defensive backs, and we can't win if we can't move them up front.
Defensively, coming in here trying to stop the Heisman Trophy winner in 1978, J.C. Watts turns out to be the MVP of the game.
Well, he ought to be. He made the big play that beat us. We had a 3rd down and 18, and he runs the the option, and keeps it. And to stop the wishbone, you've got to be very disciplined defensively. Everybody's got to tackle their man. We didn't touch him.
Bobby, at NBC, we want to thank you for wearing a mic. It's been very enlightening for us.
Thank you. I hope I didn't say too many things bad.
Bobby Bowden, head coach at Florida State. Don?
Okay, Bob, on 2nd down and 11. Oklahoma looking to run the game out. Takes the clock down to 1 minute with a straight-ahead carry. Weldon Ledbetter carried the ball. Big day in bowl games. Who is number 1? Certainly the Crimson Tide of Alabama and its many followers have a lot to cheer about as they conclude another unbeaten season, winning today in the Sugar Bowl. Houston coming from behind beats Nebraska in the Cotton Bowl at Dallas 17-14. And USC rallies from behind with Charles White setting a new Rose Bowl rushing record to beat Ohio State 17-16. USC certainly has a challenge for number 1.
Well, you know, Don, as we watch, now you've got to look at this little play. He just runs into the secondary man and flips it back out to the trailing back.
Basketball bounce pass they throw out there.
Yeah.
Chet Winters finally gets the ball.
You know, you were mentioning who has the claim to number 1. In my opinion, USC potentially is the best team in the country, but I really think Alabama played the best football. And if they haven't lost a game and they haven't been tied,
right,
and they beat Arkansas convincingly today, and today was supposed to be an indication of who's going to win it, I'd have to give it to Alabama.
Alabama, every time they lined up, they won. Nobody else did every time. Straight ahead carry. Oklahoma runs the ball, and that could be the final play of the game as it winds down. 24-7 will be the final score of the 1980 Orange Bowl. The Oklahoma Sooners and Coach Barry Switzer again lead the Orange Bowl victorious, as he has now won 4 of 5 bowl games as head coach of the Sooners. Twice his teams have won national championships in 7 seasons as coach there. He goes over to congratulate Bobby Bowden. Those Florida State Seminoles were game, but they were not a match for Oklahoma after the early going of the ball game when Florida State took that 7-0 lead. And then Oklahoma geared up and started to roll.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see more of Bobby Bowden in the future. I think his program has picked up to where they're going to be excellent. You may have seen Barry Switzer's group for the 4th time, and he may be here yearly. But the ball game and the score was not any indication of the difference in the two teams. It was a nice night for Oklahoma. I think Florida State did everything to play good offense.
That is the final score. Oklahoma